Recording in progress.
Thank you everyone for joining us tonight, and welcome to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. I am Paul Pursuti. I'll be your host tonight, and it's our midweek oasis, our Wednesday night midweek oasis. So I welcome you one and all. We have quite a bit of folks coming from all parts of the earth tonight. So we thank you so much for joining us. So what is oasis? That's the question. What we call it the oasis because it's an opportunity for us to get together and share in the middle of the week to bridge our Sunday services. It's a place where we can be together as a community to be spiritually refreshed between those Sunday messages. We present our Wednesday night services in what we call satsang style, with a speaker and then usually some sharing going on. But bottom line, what we intend is that these gatherings be informal, intimate, and rich on Wednesday nights. So we're very, very glad that you're here. Our annual theme at the center is Wonder, Wonder Everywhere. And our monthly theme is creativity. Now, this is the first Wednesday night of the month in the new theme, but I'd just like to take a minute to recognize those speakers for March who spoke on the theme of play. We started with practitioner Regina Buckwalter, and then tonight's speaker, practitioner and ministerial student Teresa Gardner was here last month, as well as Reverend Dr. Eloise Oliver. Practitioner Judith Roberts was also here, who you'll also see tonight, and practitioner Christopher Brown. So I give them a round of applause of appreciation for supporting our Wednesday nights last month and played with us. We'd like to welcome everybody that's here for the first time. You found our homepage. That's how you came in. If you're interested in staying connected with us, we have our own Village News newsletter. If you'd like to be a part of that, in the lower left-hand corner of the homepage is a place where you can submit your email address, and you'll get an email of the Village News every Thursday, which tells you what's coming up in the week ahead here at the center. It has all the connections for the Zoom calls and when and where places and things will be happening. So if you're interested in that, please check it out. Please know that you'll be muted by our Zoom team tonight. Both your camera and your microphone. If you haven't done that already, I'm asking you to do that now. That will improve the quality of our transmission. Please stay tuned towards the end of the program. We have special and important announcements, so we'd like to share those with you. So as we start every service here at the Oakland Center, we start in prayer. So right now I call forward practitioner Judith Roberts and ask her to do the opening prayer. Judith.
Thank you, Paul. I'd like to invite everyone to take a deep breath and let it go. And another deep breath. And letting it go. And knowing that this is the breath of God. Knowing that this is the breath of the divine, the creator, the one that is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, that is always here, always with us, that surrounds, that is all around and is within. It is love, it is kindness, it is deep compassion, it is deep peace, and it is love. The most powerful thing that there is the love of that one. The love that is received, the love that is given, the love that emanates, the love that surrounds. And so as I know this, I know that that is within me, that is within every person here. And I declare and know that tonight, that everyone who is within the sound of our speaker, Teresa's voice, whether present tonight or whether listening later into a recording, that everyone who is within the sound of her voice has an aha moment, a moment of recognition, a moment of realization, a moment of their yes, of their knowing and feeling that they are open and receptive and aware of the wisdom and of the love and of the peace that is flowing through them and flowing through each one of us right here and right now. And that there is clarity for their life, clarity that lifts them up as they make choices that are grounded from the infinite love that they are, from the infinite love that we are. And so knowing this, I give thanks. I give thanks for this life, for this wisdom, for this clarity, for the yes that is within, and for the ability to say yes, for the recognition to say yes to the gifts that are given in each moment by the divine. And so I release my word into the law, knowing that this is so, knowing that this is done. And so it is. Amen.
Oh, thank you, Judith, so much for that wonderful grounding opening prayer for all of us. So now it's time for our speaker to come forward. We are so blessed to have her. She spoke last month. She's speaking this month. She's speaking on a Sunday this month. She is just in high demand here at the center, and we're just so blessed to have her. She's one of our practitioners and a ministerial student. So please, everyone, welcome Teresa Gardner.
Thank you, Paul. And it's really great to be here. You know, it is always such a treat to get a chance to be the messenger for the message. So thank you, Judith, for the lovely meditation, and for Earth Day and life renewing. That was perfect and a beautiful prayer. So thank you so much, everyone, for being here tonight. So as Paul mentioned, I believe he did. This month is our theme is creativity. And our theme for the week is saying yes to the yes. And I like to say living a fulfilled life, saying yes to that. And when I was writing and getting ready to be with you here tonight, I got inspired to ask Omega Ray to come sing us a song. She's going to sing a beautiful Karen Drucker song. If she could be spotlighted, please. She's going to sing A Call for Something More. And Omega Ray, she is, we know, a lot of us here know Omega, right? She is a singer, a songwriter that comes and sings for us one time a month. She has been raised in Oakland, born in Oakland. She has been professionally singing for 25 years. She's a singer. She's a songwriter. She sings for weddings and festivals and corporate settings, and sings domestically and internationally. Now, I'm not sure if you knew that, because this is a very special night where we get to spotlight her beautiful voice. She's going to sing for us a cappella. Please put your loving heart together for Omega Ray.
Thank you, Teresa. As Teresa said, this is called The Call of Something More by a friend of mine, actually, Karen Drucker. So it's such a privilege to sing this song on this night. There's been a storm brewing inside of me, clouds moving around my heart, Something's changing that I can't see. I'm stuck in what I know is safe, not yet where I'm supposed to be. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call of something that I've never felt before. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call and it's asking, what am I here for? 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 They say that pain pushes till the vision pulls. Feels like my safety nets have fallen down. I wish I had a map to where to go. I've got this feeling in my soul. When I get there, I will know. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call of something that I've never done before. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call and it's asking, what am I here for? 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 Hey, yeah, wanna make a move right now, though I don't know when or how. When I trust and know the truth, my heart will point the way. There is more of me to share, so today I do declare I will take that step in faith and let my light shine, 'cause I feel the call of something more. I feel the call of something that I've never seen before. I feel the call of something more. I feel the call to be someone I've never been before. I feel the call of something more. Oh, I feel the call and it's asking, what am I here for? What am I here for? What am I here for? What am I here for?
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much for coming forward. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Thank you. You know, I heard her last Sunday and I just, I love her voice so much. Omega really moves me when she sings, and yeah, blessed be, that's right. That's right. So the call to something more. Ernest Holmes said, we are living in the laboratory of the divine. What then shall we create? These are big times right now. And when I reach in fact, let me just take a breath here. Open and receptive to the one right here. Ah, good. It's so strange to look out and just see a bunch of names, right? I'd love to have some faces, but it's good to be here. So when we say we're saying yes to the yes, what are we saying yes to? So we're saying yes to agreeing to partner with spirit. We're saying yes to partner with spirit in joy and peace and wholeness. You know, and it's Earth Day, right? So it's not just for us. It's for the planet. It's for life renewing itself. It's for the abundance. We're saying yes to the abundance of our good. Emma Curtis Hopkins, and I've brought her up before, and other speakers do too. She's known as the teacher of teachers. In fact, our founder, Ernest Holmes, was her last student. And she's one of our beautiful New Thought founders. I love to quote her. Her primary belief was that there is a good for us and that we ought to have it. All of us feel this divine impulse that there is something more pulling us, sometimes pushing us. There's something pulling us to a bigger vision for our life. And we ought to have it. A life that's fulfilled, fulfilling, meaningful, that has purpose. And we feel it inside. And I love Science of Mind. I love our philosophy, our teaching, and with our tools, because it gives us a great way to come together and to practice the presence and have tools to have that manifest in our lives. A lot of us have, I'm speaking to folks that have been in this for 40 years. I think that's what Dorothy's been around Science of Mind for something like 30, 40 years. We've got my dear friends, Jacob and Andy, who are brand new folks to Science of Mind. But most folks here have heard of the secret, the law of attraction, right? And the law of attraction, well, that's the law. Science of Mind believes in the law. It's what responds to our thoughts. It responds to our feelings. And in the secret, they talked about, the genie, and you rub the lamp, the genie says, what do you want? And boom, you get your parking space. So Science of Mind, we go deeper with that. We go deeper because the law is, it's impersonal. It just says yes. And if it's just saying yes, which is a great thing, it's impersonal, and it just says yes to whatever we're thinking, we're feeling, our word is very important, how we're speaking. But that's the metaphysical side. There's also the mystical side. And I'm in a class right now in my ministerial training, and it's the eclectic writings of Ernest Holmes. And Dr. Tom Sanders teaching it, and he's talking to us about the mystical side. And that's something I want to lean into tonight. We call it Science of Mind. It used to be known more when the first textbook was written, Science of Mind and Spirit. And that the spirit part kind of went away. It's kind of been absorbed into Science of Mind. Kind of sounds like duality. But it is one, science, and it is the mind, and it is spirit. It is the mystical and the law. So we're talking tonight about creating our lives and having a fulfilling life. See, we are co-creators of our lives. We get to make the choices. That's what we've been given. We get to make those choices. And most of us here know that we're responsible for our lives, for how we show up and what we perceive. I want to talk about, back to our founder, Ernest Holmes. He studied the works of Judge Thomas Troward. And this is where he developed a clear theory on how we become conscious co-creators. Now, Science of Mind, our philosophy is based on, I've heard Dr. Tom, who really knows Ernest Holmes' work, he has said, believe 25%, I think he's also said 50%. So somewhere between 25 and 50% of our philosophy is based in Judge Thomas Troward's work. So Troward came up with what's called personal factor. So personal factor is when individuals evolve. First, we start out, and we're just, life is happening to us. We don't feel like we have much control over this thing. We move into having more control. But life is happening to us. And life evolves, we evolve unconsciously. We're not really sure how come, the money is dwindling or our health is dwindling. There's different things that happen and there's different reasons. But at some point, we realize we are participating in our creative process. And when that happens, it's a game changer when we are aware that we participate. And that's when we participate in our evolutionary process. Excuse me. So part of this awareness, and this is part of what I've just really been thinking a lot about, is we're open when we are, see, spirit is always right here. We know that we live and breathe and have our being within spirit. We live and breathe and have our being within the universe. And beyond that is the back of everything, the ground of all being, the creator. It just is. And it flows in us. It's our minds, the mind we use. It moves us, it breathes us, but it's back beyond that. It is what has created all of us, and it lives within us. But yet it's not, all of God is not in me, because there's all of us. It's beyond even this universe, but we get to commune with it. And all its qualities are available to us. And it's all right here. But we get choice, right? It is as it obeys us. It's that law too, that metaphysical law. So it waits right there. And as soon as we are aware of it, we open and receptive and say, hey there, invite it in. It rushes in. It rushes in with that invitation. And with that invitation, with that communion with spirit. Now, this is a very important part of our spiritual mind treatment, our affirmative prayer, the way that we call forth what we desire in life and how we co-create. Because when we are aware and are communing with the one, that's different than from personality. From personality, there are limitations. I'll desire something based upon past experiences. I limit myself. Have you ever heard Michael Beckwith say, if you think you can achieve something that you're going for, well, you certainly haven't dreamed big enough. That's because when we are communing in spirit and speak and feel and have our thoughts from being filled up to overflowing in that place, we are tapping into infinite potential. There isn't any limitation here unless it's self-imposed. Now, have you had the experience of that feeling of being just filled up? No, I wasn't raised with any religion. I wasn't raised spiritually. My parents made a decision not to do that. So it was in the 2000s, probably about 2005. My boyfriend at the time took me to Oakland, and you might have heard this story before. It's one of my favorites. Took me to Acts Full Gospel Church with Bishop Bob Jackson, a Baptist church, I believe. And this was my first experience of God, of feeling the metaphysical and knowing beyond reason that God exists, that there is something bigger than me, that love truly exists. So I'm just sitting there and the choir starts up, right? The choir starts going and the music's playing and they start slow and they start speeding it up, speeding it up, speeding it up. And pretty soon it is just whipping. Maybe that's what the Sufis do. I don't know that, but it feels like that might be true. So it's going faster and faster. And all of a sudden, the air changed. It was thick. You could see the air. It was like God particles in the air. I was like basking in this. It was filling me up. It was almost like I was floating in this space. And then someone said, Holy Spirit is in the house. I'm like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know this was possible. It was this immediate awareness that spirit is real. And then, I've since heard that it's called shouting, that some people in the choir and then some people in the congregation started dancing with their eyes closed. I thought it was called Holy Spirit dancing, but since I've been told it was called shouting. And the ushers went and put their arms all around them so they could keep dancing and letting spirit move them, but not get hurt. They're columns and such. I will never forget that. That anchored me and really was one of the spearheads leading me to where I am today. Beyond reason, we can know with reason that God exists, but can we really? It's a mystical experience as well. Or we can decide to take a leap of faith and just try it on. What have you got to lose? William James talked about that. What have you got to lose? You could just decide, try it on. Communing with spirit is a big deal, and it changes the way we do spiritual mind treatments. And so I wanted to offer that tonight. And the other thing I wanted to mention here is that I was talking with my prayer partner, and I was like, opening up and communion with spirit and then trusting spirit, right? So we're trusting spirit to support us, to sustain us, that spirit's got our back, that it is the good back of all things. Then it's like, how do we know that? How do we know that it's really got my back? And inside the mind, we don't believe that evil is a thing in itself. Some people may act from that place, a place of ignorance in the way it works. But at the heart, we are good people. But there's ignorance that people believe in scarcity. So there's ignorance that has them do things that aren't for their highest good. So when I was really wanting to dig in deeper into, does spirit really have my back here? Is it a friendly universe? And I think I always bring that one up. Is spirit a friendly universe? That's, Einstein said that. That's a big question. He thought the most important question that humanity could ask. Because if we think the universe is friendly, we will act from that place. And from here, I am, because of, Dr. Tom Sanner's class right now, we're looking at that our philosophy is panentheism. It's called panentheism. And panentheism is what I was talking about earlier, which is spirit is in me and through me. And I'm inside the universe. And outside of that is the universal spirit. But all of everything resides within universal spirit. So when I ask my question, Is spirit good? Can I trust it? Can I count on it and know that I am supported and sustained? Can I open and let that wisdom guide me into what is mine to be, what is mine to do? Can I trust it? See, this thing, we call it sometimes the thing itself. You could call it so many names. You can call it Allah. You could call it so many things, so many names. But it could never be against itself. It is that ground of all being. It couldn't be against itself. It would cease to exist. It is for itself. It is pure love. It is that givingness of life, of love. It could never be against itself. So that's where we get to release those ideas that are not the truth of who we are. We are not just lovable, we really are love. We really are, because all that this one is, we are. Because it fills every part of me, in every cell, in every thought. It is the divine mind that I use. God, it's really quite awesome, awestruck when you really get it. And it's so good to be here, to come together in unity, knowing that when we speak our word, we uplift everyone. There is only one here. We're all connected. So that's why what I do to me, I do to others. What I do to others, I do to me. So take care of ourselves. Have compassion for myself. I'll have more compassion for you. Lift each other up, lifting each other up, lifting Bonnie up, lifts me up. It lifts the people of Ukraine. It lifts up the people in Russia. There is love here. Love in my heart is the love that Putin has. He's on the prayer list, you know? We are so blessed to have this teaching. Let's see if there's anything else. You know, there's a quote by Eric Butterworth. Eric Butterworth has this incredible book called Spiritual Economics. And he says that a demonstration, and what we call a demonstration in science of mind, is a manifestation. Like you asked for something, it manifests. Oh my gosh, it demonstrated. Okay, so demonstration isn't working magic. It's not working miracles, because actually life is one big miracle. It's not something out of nothing kind of process. It's releasing your imprisoned splendor. That which you desire is already within you. Communing with the one. Meditation, contemplation. Communing with the one. What are we adding into the one mind, the one heart? Lifting each other up. When one falls, we lift them up with love, with compassion. And we trust. We trust in this. We trust in the metaphysical and the mystical. I'm so thankful. This is really changing how I pray, this practice. And I invite you to Monday through Friday, Paul, who's here, he's also a ministerial student. We facilitate a a deep dive into abundance, which is really a morning practice of just meditating on the one, that it lives and breathes within us, and we are aware that that is our life. So I invite you, you can go online to the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living website and sign up. It's just a love offering. It's really easy. You can email me. I'll put my email in here. Maybe you have my email address. And come join us. It's 15 minutes a day, Monday through Friday. It's actually a 40-day process, but you could start any time and do it yourself on the weekends. 15 minutes a day. Have it be start of your practice to put your mind and your focus on where your supply comes from, where your good comes from. It's in here. It doesn't come from outside of you. It's already who you are. So that's the end of that part of the talk. I enjoyed that. And I thought we would get together and we can discuss this. And, I would love to hear from people. I mean, I just want to discuss this, open up. You could turn on your cameras and you could turn on your sound. But I want to know, first of all, has anybody want to talk about an experience they've had of the divine, where they have had a clear experience of really the mystical, a mystical awakening? And then what else do we want to talk about here? What's coming, what's moving within you tonight? If you have any questions.
So if you have something you'd like to share with Teresa and answer her questions, we ask that you turn on your camera, and to be recognized by Peter, who will moderate a little bit to help Teresa. You can either raise your hand like this, or you can use your reaction buttons down at the bottom and press raise hand like that. And then Peter will recognize you. Okay?
Paul?
Yes.
Paul, got your hand up.
Oh, yes, Teresa, can you go further into the mystical part?
Well, Paul, I know who you are. And you're just really a minister. Why don't you go into the mystical part? Because I would love to hear you. He prayed me in today, and I just have no doubt about him, okay?
Well, thank you. It's
Well,
only
well-
one mind, and we're all in the one mind, so it's nice to recognize that.
So what do you want to say about the mystical, Paul?
Well, I just want to see what your experience was with being
Mm.
touched by the mystical, because I see it coming out in you all the time. I want to see how you view it coming through you.
Well, I can see it when it's happening with people. Like last Sunday in the Zoom, we had Tracy Brown, right? Dr. Tracy Brown. And I was thinking that spirit didn't come through so much when I did Zoom. It came through in person. And she changed my mind because I'm watching her, and all of a sudden there was a shift, and spirit, there's a change, a feeling, it's like goosebumps. It's like it's a transmission that comes through. And I mean, it's the best thing ever as far as I'm concerned. And when I gave my last Sunday talk, almost all of that was spirit. I was an observer watching it do its thing through me, which was mind-blowing because I'd never had it like that. Like, really? Oh my goodness, is that what this is? Oh my goodness, I am more in now than ever. Wow. And it's available to everyone. That's the thing. It happens when we do treatment, when you pray with a practitioner, or when you pray, when we open up and or welcoming of the one. And I feel it in my hands a lot. I feel it now. I don't know what, something shifts and my hands have their own life and kind of open up. You know, I'll watch Reverend Jerry and her hands will kind of move. You know I'm not the only one. It's just, that's what happens. It starts to kind of go through us, right? Thank you, Paul. Mystic.
Jerry, Reverend Jerry, go ahead.
Hi, Teresa. I see it almost every time you speak. I see it happening. I saw it happening this evening, and I'm just really you open yourself up to a divine flow that is so present in you each time I see you speak. So you are truly a beautiful gift, and I'm so grateful for you, and so grateful for sharing in this evening. It was so lovely. The whole idea of trusting spirit, and we don't need to know anything. All we need to really do is trust and be visionaries for what's yet to be, and to know that everything's always in divine order. So I just am so grateful for you, and so touched by your depth of consciousness and how you welcome in spirit in such a beautiful way. So I am so excited for your journey as you move forward always.
I love you. Thank you so much.
I love you too.
Bonnie, hey, Bonnie, go.
Oh yeah, hi. I may have a little background noise, but I love how everyone's trying to describe what it is to be filled. When I was growing up, I grew up Southern Baptist, and I've always run from it as far as I could. But I just want to say this, that I remember I was like 9 years old, and in the church, in the African-American Southern Baptist in the South, in South Carolina, you had a group of women that would teach you how to pray and teach you how to receive the Holy Spirit, how to open up to the Holy Spirit. And I remember my aunt and like 6 of her bestest prayer warriors, as they called it, they just surrounded me. And I was only like 9. I had no clue what was going on, no expectations, but they just surrounded me in love. And we were all on our knees praying. And we just repeated this mantra over and over again. And I was 9 years old, so I had no frame of reference to say what was going on. But I just remember being, not being able to really describe it, but an elevation of spirit, a lightness of body, something that just descends over, something descended over me. And then I always say I got saved by the bell because we were supposed to be going to the beach, and my parents came like right as all this was happening. And so I remember my aunt going out to tell my parents, oh, you got to wait a minute, she's just getting ready. But I was going to say, for me, that started at an early age. And now I hear in, I'll just say, in this church now, people trying to get what I was raised with. And ran away from. And it's good, because now I would love to go back and be in that environment. And I remember being an usher in the church, and when somebody started shouting, you didn't go over to stop them, you just went over to make sure they were safe, because they would really be out of control physically, of their physical awareness, not aware of their physical surroundings. And yours was to go over, and maybe you and another usher would go over and just make sure they stayed safe. And so that was my experience. And then as a child, some people would play school. Kids would play school, I'll be the teacher, I'll be whatever. But we would play church. Now you be Miss Jones, and she always says, save me, Lord. And then she shouts in a certain way. And then somebody else would be Sister Polly, and she would say, I know, sure enough. So anyway, that was a part of my spiritual upbringing. And I have no regrets about that. I mean, even though I took away from that for a while. But I think that's what needed to happen for my spiritual evolution. I had to have another experience outside of that. So thanks for sharing that about the church. And it is called shouting.
It shows with you, Bonnie. I always feel you're like in a bubble of love, and you always are so, you give it. It's just one big receiving it. You're a bubble of love. So
Well, you got my Aunt Tiny to thank for that. Okay.
Thank you, Aunt Tiny.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing.
Dorothy, you had your hand up, Dorothy. You want to share?
Okay, I wanted to share. I grew up Baptist and then transferred to Methodist, but I had a grandmother who was an evangelist on her own. And I can remember the days that I spent with my father. I can remember my grandmother going into her bedroom and getting on her knees and praying. Now, I was never taught how to pray, but I listened to my grandmother and how she prayed. And growing up Baptist, with my family, you had to go to church all day Sunday, okay? We went to the first Sunday service, then you had the BYU, which was the youth group, and you came together and you were taught to fear God. And in that growing up, God was always outside of me. And then in 1981, I was told by a friend, come visit my church. I first had a friend who lived in San Francisco who went to the first church in San Francisco in Diamond Heights. And then another friend said, come to my church. And that church is on Clarewood Drive. And so I said, oh, okay. I sat in the back of the church. She sat in the front of the church, and we never saw each other. But at that service was Reverend Margaret's first day as the senior minister at First Church of Religious Science. Wow. And I couldn't get over this touchy-feely, kissy folks that was happening at Oakland Center, because we weren't doing that stuff in the Baptist church, okay? We weren't doing all that hugging and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, whatever this is. But I knew when I walked in that door and sat there that was where I belonged. And I'm just so proud to say that this is my 20th year as a practitioner at Oakland Center in First Church of Religious Science. And I would not give up anything for the teachings of what I've learned through Reverend Margaret, Reverend Victor, all those people who guided me through these 20-some plus years as a member of Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. And I tell you, opening your heart and your mind and trusting the process.
Yes.
That God is all there is. You could not ask for anything more. So I want to thank you, because this is my first time really hearing you. And I appreciate what you did tonight. Thank you.
I love you, Dorothy. Thank you.
And I'm complete.
Thank you. My heart's full. Hearts are full.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Judith.
Judith. Judith?
Yeah, I was also brought up without religion and without church, like you, Teresa. And but I had a deep quest, a deep longing, and a deep spiritual quest. And I think part of what opened me up was a mystical experience that happened when I was 14. And this is a whole different type. You know, this is more of a meditative, it's more of a kind of revelation type of thing. I developed a practice without knowing what I was doing of going up on this hill every night before sunset and just sitting there and watching the sun go down over the ocean, and then going home and making a salad and having dinner with the family. But I just did this. And one night the sky opened up. I was just watching the sky, and the sky opened up, and this being appeared to me that stretched the whole length of the sky. And I recognized it as a goddess. I knew it was a goddess, and she was looking down at me and just kind of revealing herself. And I don't know which one, you know, I just felt the feeling. And then after a while, the sky just closed back up and she disappeared. But I think that was one of the first times, so that, you know, for me, mystical is it's what's revealed that's beyond logic. You know, it's beyond explanation. And for me, these experiences have often come by going within, you know, by going, because I've had a meditation practice for a long time. And so, you know, as I go within, then things open up without that are not anything that anyone has taught about that or said is possible, except in mystical writings or maybe in scripture. And so as these experiences began to come, every time they were a surprise. But then, you know, if they continued, then I just accepted, oh, you know, this happens. This also is possible. So it's a mystery. I guess that's why we call it mystical. Whoops, it's a mystery. And I just accept it. I accept it and enjoy it. You know, but one of the things I've learned about it is that I can't predict. I can't predict when these experiences are going to come, and I can't expect them. They come as a gift. So,
wow.
And I'm complete.
Beautiful sharing. Beautiful
Wonderful.
sharing. Lovely. And I love how you always bring nature in. Yes. This has been a very, very rich discussion and a very rich night. My heart is overflowing, and thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And it's just beautiful. And hi, Julia. That's my dear friend, Julia. And just thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. And I'm gonna turn it over to our dear Paul Prasuti. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Let's all thank Teresa any way we can with our clapping and appreciation, waving hands. Look at all your faces of happiness out there. All your thumbs up. Everybody appreciates you, Teresa, for being here tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That's
So,
good.
Thank you, Teresa, for having you.
Oh, I love you.
Thank you, Teresa.
Oh, thanks.
So we have some announcements that I'd like to go over, and we're going to also take a minute to read the Minister's Covenant. So this is, excuse me, this is what's coming up on Wednesday, I'm sorry, on Sunday, April 10th.
I think we need Luis to mute. Luis, maybe? Is that you?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Thank you,
I'm not
Louise.
sure. Good to see you, Luis.
So this Sunday, April 10th, our Reverend Jerry, who's here with us tonight, will enlighten us all when she explains and maybe even demonstrates how to dance with the donkey. So join us in person with meditation at 10 a.m. and the service at 10:30. We are now streaming directly to YouTube, and the link is on the homepage. Remember, you'll need to show your vaccination card and photo ID and wear a mask indoors if you plan to join us in person. Next Wednesday, April 13th, practitioner and ministerial student Elena Hutchinson will also speak on Dance with the Donkey. Can't wait to see what she does with that topic. Meditation at 6:30 and the services at 7. Wednesday night services will remain on Zoom. Remember to take advantage of the Spirit Treasure bookstore's Fabulous savings of 10 to 50% off. The more you buy, the more of a credit you'll get. Remember, you can get birthday gifts, early Christmas shopping, self-love gifts. They have it all at the bookstore. And if you love books, please lend a hand by volunteering in the bookstore. Just talk to Linda Wyman while you're getting your next item at a generous discount. Are you looking to make a difference in the world events and your own life? Join the Chain Reaction for Peace. They meet to pray for peace in Ukraine and around the world. And that has moved back to noon each day. Now we went on daylight savings time, so it went to 1 o'clock. Then they went on it and went back to 12 noon. So it's at 12 noon. This 15-minute prayer meditation is a powerful way of putting our principles into practice. Then at 12:15, join with others from Oakland Center to study and learn from the wisdom of Dr. Daniel Lee Morgan as we explore the daily readings from his book, Guidance for a Spiritual Journey. Earth Day is Friday, April 22nd, and the Loving Stewards of the Mother Earth Ministry are meeting this Thursday, April 7th at 3:30 in the afternoon in the courtyard to brainstorm upcoming activities. All are welcome. Are you looking for a fun activity this weekend? The Oakland Gay Men's Chorus is having a spring concert. Be the Change on Saturday, April 9th at 7:30 and Sunday, April 10th at 4 p.m. For more information, see John Russell, our PowerPoint guy, or Sam Lejean, our camera guy. And always, for information on all that is going on at our center, please visit our website, oaklandcsl.org. Be sure to check our events page. And don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook for special updates and content that you'll only find by liking and subscribing to OCSL. So let's just take a minute as I read the new minister's covenant together. This ritual we do on Sunday, we also do on Wednesday. If you need a copy to read daily, you can download it from the home page of the website. So follow along with me with your microphones off, please. New Minister's Sacred Covenant. There is only one life. This life is good. This life is God. This life is my life now. In knowing that I am one with this life, that is God, I therefore know that I am one with all of its blessed expressions, which includes the presence of a new minister for my beloved spiritual community. Because I know that the highest purpose of the new minister is to reveal spirit, I therefore know that my new minister is a revelation of God as wisdom. I further know that my new minister is the fulfillment of that which has been promised by Spirit. For it is written, I am filled with divine wisdom. I allow divine mind to fill my mind now. As I stand in agreement with my beloved community, I see my new minister revealed before me as unity in the community. I now intend to experience my new minister in full cooperation and agreement with my community, knowing this truth about myself. For I am inspiring unity and diversity, embracing and nourishing our community. I am awakening the wisdom within. I am healing and expanding our community with the power of love. I am engaging the community in building a world that works for everyone. I am deepening family consciousness. As I now accept the highest expression of a new minister into my life, I know that they are revealed in a way that illumines spirit and serves the highest and greatest good of all who are touched by their presence. I am grateful God is gracious, and so it is. Ashe. And in this moment of gratitude and graciousness, I'm reminded that it's our opportunity to contribute to the center. We can do that in many ways: time, treasure, and talent. Whatever that gift is that you give, it comes in to these gates and it goes out multiplied into the world. So with that, please repeat this offering with me, this offering phrase. This gift I give is God in action. It works. It does good work in the world and blesses creation. See the sunflowers there? I'm going to digress for a moment in this moment of gratitude. Sunflowers is something that the Ukraine raises. They're the #1 producer of sunflower oil. And that is used in so many, many products. So when I look at a sunflower now and how it reaches up to the sky, I know the Ukrainians are reaching up to the sky and are blessed. So when you see a sunflower, think of blessing the Ukraine. Blessed be on that. So if you'd like to contribute, there's several ways you can do that. You can go to our homepage and use the donate button for credit card use. You can mail it to the address there at 5000 Clarewood Drive. You can text an amount if you do it that way at 510-327-3431. Or if you know about Zelle, you can Zelle your donation to giving at oaklandcsl.org. Please know we're grateful for any contribution, whether it's time, treasure, or talent. That's what makes our center work. And our center works to create a world that works for everyone. So thank you for your contributions. Oh, I almost forgot. You can come to church on Sunday in person if you're vaccinated and if you have proof and your driver's license and a mask and your money. You can drop it in the offering basket. So if you can join us on Sunday, please do so. And remember, it is also available on the click to watch it from home if you're more comfortable with that. Also know that this service and all of our Wednesdays and Sundays are recorded, and you can see them on our YouTube channel through the website if you want to share this with a friend or revisit it. So please do so in that way if you can. So with that in mind, I want to say some thank yous out there for folks that participated tonight. Of course, Teresa Gardner, thank you so much. As well as our meditation was presented by practitioner Judith Roberts. We want to thank our Reverend Jerry. She's here with us tonight. How fortunate we are to have her here on Wednesday night. So thank you, Reverend Jerry. We have a Zoom team backing us up. All the way up in Portland, Peter is back in the chair.
Yay.
And he's running the show. Welcome back, Peter. And PowerPoint was Helene tonight. Admitting was Sabrina. Spotlighting was Alice. Muting was Luis. And the recording responsibility, the most important part of the evening, is Trisha. She gets to turn us on and she gets to turn us off. And so I'm grateful to you, Trisha, for that. I would be remiss if I didn't mention Constance Chapman. She keeps all of the background administration going for the whole center and fully supports Wednesday night and makes it possible for us to have it. So Constance, we thank you. Thank you, Zoe, my buddy, for being there, always available in case something needs to be fulfilled. I can call on you to help us out. So thank you, Zoe. So with that, I thank everyone, and I'm going to ask Teresa to come forward and do our closing prayer for us. Teresa?
Oh, Paul, I had my hand up. I just wanted to ask, you made the announcement, but is the deep dive still open?
Yes.
For people? Because I just want to just beg you to join, to just say you won't be disappointed. It has been a beautiful experience and just didn't want that to slip by tonight. And a big thank you to Teresa and Paul. They are doing a fantastic job. Two mystics in action.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much. And I also want to give a big shout out, even though she's not here, for Omega Ray. She just really helped set the tone this evening, has an exquisite voice, and a spirit who directed me to her. So thank you. And Karen Drucker, who wrote the song and said she has my permission to sing it. So that was very, very nice. Okay, everybody.
Teresa, I just want to remind folks that your event with Paul will be on the events page tomorrow. And if you go to the website, go up to the top, look for events, click on the second event button, and you'll see a Zoom link there and a way to enroll or be a part of it. So that will all be on the events page tomorrow, Teresa.
And Paul, it's Constance. I just sent the link directly to Teresa and I just put it in the chat. so people don't even have to wait for that because I didn't know it was still open, so I took it down.
Yeah, we decided to keep it going because it's such a beautiful practice to just stay centered in spirit
They'll let
together.
me know these things, so.
Thank you, Constance.
So if you're interested in participating, click on that link right now and make it a favorite in your browser. But it's right there, but it will be on the events page tomorrow. We highly encourage you to do and check out our events page. All kinds of great things are going on there. And the top of the list will be Teresa and Paul's event tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
Teresa, if you will close us out in prayer, that would be great.
Wonderful. First of all, I want to send healing, beautiful love to Louise. It's so good to see your face. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah. Okay. All right, everybody. Let's settle in as we open and are receptive to commune with the one right here. The beauty, the love that beats our hearts. It is the creator of all, and it is back beyond even that. It just is. That perfect peace, that love. It is pure love, pure joy. My goodness. It gives the gift of life through its love, creating everything out of itself. It does so with ease. It just does this. It's miraculous. It moves planets. It breathes life into its creation just out of itself. It is something to be awestruck, and I am awestruck that I am one with this one. It is my very, very life. It moves me, breathes me, directs me. It moves and breathes all of us here. All of us live within it. Each cell, each particle in our body temple is designed to know just what to do. I speak my word on behalf of each of us right here. I'm so delighted to do so, knowing that we are all blessed in perfect unity, in perfect wisdom, that we are open and receptive today to commune with the one, to say yes to the yes, to let it fill us to overflowing with the love that we are, the love for each other, the love for ourselves, the love for our beautiful mother planet. An Earth Day coming up where we celebrate the love that we are. I'm really just grateful for everyone here tonight, knowing that they have heard exactly what they need to hear, that they have had their own transmission of love that ignites their body with vitality, with health, perfect peace and joy. And knowing that this is the truth of our lives, I know that we go about our evening and sleep sweetly and slumber. Beautiful dreams, gumdrops, and kisses and hugs and all that and more. So I just say yes to the yes, and I let go and let God. And so it is. Ashe.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you, everyone. Love you. Good to see you.
Oh,
See
thank
you
you,
Sunday.
Paul and team. Teresa, that was fabulous.
Paul Prasuti, thank you.